Every employee knew that the building had only 10 floors. No one questioned it until one rainy Friday night. The directory listed every floor, lobby, 1 through 10, nothing more. Detective Marcus Cole had investigated impossible cases before, but this one made no sense. But at exactly 11:11 p.m., the elevator stopped somewhere impossible. Floor 11. Marcus watched the elevator display. 10, then 11. The doors opened to a floor that wasn't supposed to exist, and someone had been there recently. Marcus stepped out of the elevator. The hallway looked impossible. Everything was spotless, brightly lit, and completely silent. Fresh coffee still steamed on a nearby desk. Someone had been here only moments before. Marcus checked his phone. No signal. His police radio answered with nothing but static. He pushed open the conference room door and froze. Every chair was occupied by empty business suits. Marcus picked up the employee badge. The photo was his. The name was his. But the hiring date was still 12 years away. The printer came to life on its own. One page slowly emerged, carrying a message meant for Marcus alone. "You're 12 years early." The badge wasn't just an ID, it was a key. As the scanner accepted Marcus, the hidden executive office slowly opened, revealing a place no one was ever meant to enter. Marcus expected a hidden office, not another future. Beyond the glass was Chicago, but not the Chicago he knew. Every detail whispered the same impossible truth. The year was 2038. The badge updated on its own. First day of employment. Before Marcus could make sense of it, the executive phone lit up. Someone from the future was calling, and they already knew his name. The phone call lasted only a few seconds. A calm voice greeted Marcus like an old colleague. He whispered that he'd never been there before. The answer chilled him. Not yet. The office fell silent. Every system shut down, except one. The elevator was waiting. Its display changed from 11 p.m. to 12. Marcus had been warned never to trust that floor. Yet somehow, it was waiting for it. The warning told Marcus never to trust floor 12. But the building had already made its choice. His badge changed. The destination was confirmed. And with one step into the darkness, there was no turning back. The elevator ignored every command. The floor numbers climbed beyond anything the building should have contained. His phone had no signal. The emergency button was dead. And when the display reached 99, Marcus realized he wasn't traveling through a building anymore. The elevator didn't open onto another floor. It opened onto an archive that should never have existed. Shelf after shelf stretched into darkness, each one preserving years that hadn't happened yet. And somehow, it was waiting for Marcus. Every file belonged to someone who had vanished without a trace. One by one, Marcus searched through the names until a single folder stopped him cold. It wasn't another missing person. It was his own. The file didn't describe Marcus's past. It described a future he had never lived. Performance reviews, security clearances, classified investigations. And at the very end, a photograph of an older Marcus standing before floor 12, as if he had already completed the journey. Marcus wasn't alone. Across the endless archive, a single lamp came to life. Someone had been waiting in the darkness all along. They didn't wave. They didn't speak. They simply watched, as if Marcus had arrived exactly on schedule. The stranger never stood, never revealed a face. A single file slid across the desk, waiting only for Marcus. Then, in a calm voice that carried through the endless archive, came the words he would never forget. "We've been waiting for you." The archive had been silent for what felt like an eternity. Then, without warning, a lone brass desk lamp flickered to life. Its warm glow revealed a solitary desk at the center of the endless darkness. Behind it, someone was already waiting. Marcus couldn't believe what he was seeing. The man before him wasn't a stranger. It was him. 12 years later. The stranger held Marcus's gaze, then spoke the words that changed everything. I'm what you become, if you stay. The badge slipped from Marcus's hand, and with it, every certainty he had ever believed. The stranger slowly leaned into the light. Marcus felt the air leave his lungs. The face before him wasn't unfamiliar. It was his own, 12 years older. Time hadn't broken the man. Without a word, the older Marcus opened the file, as if he'd been expecting this moment for years. The headlines weren't predictions. They were tomorrow's newspapers. Every page described disasters that hadn't happened yet, and the detective who stopped them. For 12 years, he carried the burden alone, sacrificing his own future so that millions of others could keep theirs.
Outside these walls. There is no anger, no self-pity, only acceptance.
Marcus thought he'd found the secret. Then the archive opened a passage that was never meant to exist. Behind the archive was something impossible. Thousands of clocks, each guarding a different moment in time. But the clocks weren't moving together. Some raced forward, some turned back, and some had stopped completely. Then one clock stopped, another followed, and suddenly, the entire chamber went silent. Then one clock changed. It didn't show a year anymore. It showed one word: now. Every 12 years, one investigator is chosen. The dates formed a pattern, 12 years apart. Again and again. Some succeeded. Others entered floor 12 and never returned. Then Marcus saw the final slot. His name was already there, waiting for him. Then Marcus saw the final slot. His name was already there, waiting for Hesse. The final slot was empty, but beneath it, Marcus found his name and the year 2026. Then every light turned red. The archive locked down, and a 10-minute countdown appeared.
It's happening earlier this time.
But older Marcus wasn't watching the doors. He was watching the clock, and for the first time, he looked afraid. Marcus asked what happened at 0.
Now!
Older Marcus didn't answer. He just started moving faster. Older Marcus heard the question. He knew the answer. But whatever happened at 0, he refused to say it. Then Marcus noticed one badge changing. Elias Vance, 1990. And his older self recognized the name. The name was Elias Vance, chosen in 1990, and somehow his badge was disappearing. Then Marcus saw the watch. Elias had been frozen at this exact minute, 36 years earlier. Marcus stopped watching the countdown. One name had changed everything, and his older self recognized it.
Elias Vance? You know Elias Vance?
Elias had a file, but someone had removed it, leaving only the empty space behind. The file wasn't lost. It was removed in 2014, exactly 12 years before Marcus arrived. Marcus found the missing evidence. Then his future self admitted the truth. He was the one who removed it. Older Marcus hadn't destroyed the evidence. For 12 years, he'd been hiding it. Elias discovered the truth. The countdown wasn't a warning. It was choosing someone. The file said Marcus had been chosen, but his future self knew one truth Elias never discovered.
There is no way out. If you refuse, the timeline fractures. Zero isn't the end. It resets the choice.
Marcus finally understood. 0 wasn't the end of the countdown. It was the moment the choice began again.